At the time, my mother was unfit to take care of us. I flatlined. We were moving from homeless shelter to homeless shelter. I was in about 8 foster homes total. One of the houses we stayed out had a whole lot of drugs spread all over the place. My brother, he was accused of drinking baby oil. So she forced him to drink baby oil, toothpaste, mouthwash, bathroom cleaning materials, bleach. And then after she made him indulge all of these things, she forced him to throw it up with Epicet. And it eventually sent him into a seizure. He was in a coma for about a week. Since then, they moved us out of that home. And then that's when we came into the Tabor Agency. If Tabor and foster care did not exist, my life, to be honest, I don't know. If we hadn't run into the people that we ran into, we wouldn't know what it feels like to have that loving touch, or to know what it feels like to have a mother or to have a father. We wouldn't have experienced those moments if there weren't people in the system who really love children, who really love to help out people. And if you really are one of those people and you're looking to be a foster parent, then go for it.
The goal of the adoption program is to secure forever families for waiting children who are legally able to be adopted. I can honestly say today, every child or youth that was on my caseload found a forever family. My experiences at various levels throughout my time here have allowed me to be able to really carry out the mission of this organization, which is my ultimate goal is that children are safe at all times, that families are healthy enough that they don't have to depend on social service. And then the most important part of it is the independence that we are model teaching and coaching our young people who are 18 to 23 and they're about to age out of this system, but they're not just going to age out without any skills. Historically, they did. They're going to age out with money in a checking account. They're going to know how to budget. They're going to know how to maintain an apartment, how to make sure that their children are safe so that they break that cycle of generations in the foster care or the social service system.
To anyone interested in becoming a resource parent, there are over 3,000 children who enter the foster care system each year. And currently there are over 100,000 in care in the state of Pennsylvania. And the number is continuing to rise as several children remain without achieving permanency. There is a request for placement every night. The reality is we need more resource parents as our children continue to outnumber our available resource homes.
If you're considering becoming more involved with the Tabor Agency, welcome to the family. Remember that when you're here, it's not every donation or each minute that you spend in here. It's not a fiscal thing.
I mean, the main goals of Tabor are really to improve the quality of life of both children and families. We do work a lot with families either from broken homes or just families that need better parenting skills, and we really work closely with those families to really help them stay intact.
The purpose of Tabor Northern Community Partners is to address the systematic problems which exist in Philadelphia, specifically within the child welfare system.
They want to keep the family together, so they will do anything that they can to provide resources and tools for parents and for children for the families to stay together. So TNCP, their goal is to keep children with their families, and our goal is to make sure that everyone is safe within the community.
TNCP will serve about 300 families in Northwest Philadelphia and will basically be coordinating all of the child welfare services that those families will require. In-home services for those families where conditions have been determined not to be completely safe, as well as actually placing children in foster care where conditions warrant. So whereas in the past DHS was managing most of these services, they've now delegated that to these community umbrella agencies, and TNCP will be the community umbrella agency within Northwest Philadelphia.
One of TNCP's parent organizations is Tabor Children's Services, who has a long history, over 100 years, serving families and youth within Philadelphia and surrounding counties.
Yeah, I was attracted to Tabor. One of the key things for me is children and making sure that the kids have all the opportunities that they should have. And when I started looking at where I can devote some of my time to help others, Tabor came to the forefront just because of its mission.
The mission for Tabor Children's Services is that we keep children safe, We strengthen families and we promote independence. We also have been known as an environment and agency that keeps children safe and families feel secure.
What attracted Tabor Children's Services for me was the fact that having been born and bred in the Philadelphia area, grew up in West Mountain area, later in my career and life moved to the Doylestown area. I've lived all around the southeastern Pennsylvania community, and to see a organization like Tabor so dedicated to children welfare and really trying to change and quite frankly improve the life of kids was just very attractive to me. And I had a neighbor, Kevin, who brought to my attention an opportunity to be a part of that, and I leaped at the chance. I was at that point in my life where I really wanted to make a difference, particularly in the communities in which I grew up and where I now live.
One of the things that makes Tabor unique is that we really provide a full continuum of services to children and families. From the point that they're 6 weeks old, we have an early education and daycare program, and then we also provide services to older children, really up until they're 21 years old.
I have 2 children that have gone and are currently enrolled. My daughter Harriet attended there for 6 years, and my son Benjamin just started today. When she would walk in the door, everyone would greet her and hug her and treat her like they were her family.
Day in and day out, better almost at times than I think I know them. I rely on the teachers to communicate with me how best to maintain routines at home. My son is potty training, and so they really have taken the lead with that. They're with him most of his waking hours, and so they're the ones that have brought me along in terms of how to be a first-time mom with him and respond to his needs and developmentally what stage he's at.
So when you walk in the door, it just feels like home, and I love that there wasn't a lot of turnaround with the teachers. The teachers that taught Harriet are still there for Benjamin, and so that was really comforting as a parent. It's incredibly warm and cozy, and that's what you want as a mother. You want to know when you walk in the door that they're not only going to be certified teachers and give them good curriculum, but they're going to love them and they're going to hug them, and when they fall down, they're going to kiss them, and that's what every single staff at Tabor has done for Harriet, and I know will do for Benjamin, and that's what it's all about, is that your children are loved when you drop them off.
I would say that Tabor is a diamond in the rough, really. I miss my kids every single day when I am at work. I wish I could stay home with them, but I can't. And so it gives me peace of mind to have them someplace where I do not worry about them for a single second during the course of the day. I know that if something happens, I'll be told about it right away. I know that if there's an issue, I'll be aware of it coming in. I know that my kids are happy here, they're safe, they're learning, and I just can't say enough good things, really.
The Adolescent Initiative Program, also known as the AIP, is a program for transition-age foster youth, that's youth from 14 to 21, who are moving out of the foster care system and independent living settings in the community. The AIP is really a continuum of services. So, for instance, when the kids come in, if we have youth that are referred at 14, they go into what's called a soft skills group, and that's more about relational skills, learning how to communicate, how to manage their anger, how to relate to people in the general population at their school setting, how to advocate for themselves, those kinds of things. The mission and the most important piece of why independent living services need to be provided to youth is that the largest percentage of homeless adults in the United States are former foster youth. So our goal is to help to prevent homelessness, actually. To give them those skills so that they can maintain. They do understand how to access services in the community. They do know how to advocate for themselves. There is one piece of the AIP that I hadn't mentioned, which is the overarching component called the mentoring program. And what we intend to do is to make a lifetime match, so that once the kids age out of services here at Tabor and out of services in the county, there's still an adult that they can go to use as a resource and a support person to help to give them guidance, because most often these youth do not have anybody in their lives or in their families.
Mentoring is a really special sort of friendship and part of the program that we offer through Tabor is fostering that relationship with an adult who's a volunteer from the community, and helping our youth find someone that's going to listen to them, someone that's not paid to be there, someone that just has their back and is there just for them.
When I found I had a mentor, I felt like I would have a connection to Tabor after I aged out. Someone who pretty much similar to what a caseworker with Tabor would be, someone who had the resources and could help me with things that I needed help with. You know, my birthday comes around, Kaylin's birthday party comes around, she's there. My Christmas, my Thanksgiving, I'm with her. Actually, my daughter, she was born 10 days before Christmas. So her actual first Christmas, I didn't really have anything in my apartment. Her and a couple of her coworkers came over and redid my whole apartment. With Christmas lights, trees, everything. And it looked kind of like a school classroom would because they have all the knickknacks hanging around because they're all teachers. But it's really nice because she's always been right there for me.
In my experience, the youth are always looking for someone to talk to. A mentor can be, you know, a variety of different ages and backgrounds, but they just want someone that's there for them, that's there to listen, that's there to, you know, just have their back.
I think if I didn't have Tabor, I really wouldn't even be in an apartment anymore. I'd probably be behind on everything. I wouldn't even have a car. They basically took care of me while I was pregnant, trying to catch up on what how set back I was.
I recently talked to a mentor and we were talking about, you know, she was really looking to give back, but she got so much in return, which was really something that was cool to hear after putting so much time in a program, for her to feel like it was a win for her as well. And she looked forward to the meetings with the mentee and felt like she was really learning a lot about herself in this relationship. So that was something really cool that we learned. As we kind of go on, the more time you put in, the more you're getting back as well. To find out more information, they would go to our parent website, tabor.org, or our blog, tabormentoringprogram.wordpress.com. And there they can find our press packet, our volunteer application, some success stories, and some topics that we're talking about with the mentors currently.
You know, I know there are a lot of not-for-profit organizations that people can donate to, and the question always is, you know, what's different about Tabor? And, you know, I think one thing is that we're really making a difference to children. We can hopefully break that cycle, you know, where then these children who have come from difficult backgrounds, they get an education, they improve their lives, they then will raise kids who are will get off to a better start than they did. And so it just then perpetuates itself. So I just think it's really important that people contribute to an organization like Tabor, where we can really make that difference to society as a whole.
If you're interested in providing safety, families, homes, and promoting independence amongst children and youth, we ask you to join the Tabor family as a donor. There are many ways you can support this organization. You can donate directly through PayPal at our website at www.tabor.org. You can also mail donations to Development at 601 New Britain Road, Doylestown, PA 18901. We encourage you to learn more about supporting a specific fund, sponsoring a child, family, or participating in an upcoming event, or even learn about planned giving options. We encourage you also to subscribe at tabor.org to receive our news so you can stay current and up to date on the many ways you can get involved and support this organization.
I think one of the goals that I have in being on the board at Tabor is to look for ways that I can continue to help support the great work that's already been done here. I think oftentimes we find in our lives that we sit on the sidelines and we can critique and we can provide points of view, but I'd like to be involved. I'd like to get involved with some of the different initiatives that Tabor is focused on to really change the life of not only children, but youths, young adults, and families. And I think that this organization offers a great venue to do that.
If someone is considering supporting Tabor, a family of services, I would greatly encourage that, because it only takes one person to impact a whole family in a positive manner.